Good morning, friends. Have you gone through all those points that I've discussed till the last module? If you have, are you steady? The last point that I discussed, steadiness, are you steady to go further, go forward? If yes, then my next point comes. That is stress management. See, steadiness is basically combating the stress. There would be always stress, whether you're studying, whether you are exercising, whether you are playing, whether you are in business, whether in sales, whether in travel. Stress is everywhere. Even running the family is stress. Finding out the good opportunity for your children in the good school is a stress. Getting a good job done by somebody else is a stress. Getting a good job from another employer is a stress. So stress is always there. We cannot be, in fact, your life is absolutely boring if you don't have stress. But the only thing is, stress is stretchable. It is stretchable. Stress management is how much stress you can handle or manage. Engineers will understand the stress strain curve. Okay? You build up stress. After some time, it becomes strain. If I just use it very, very linguistically, that if you are under stress, then sometime at one point of time, beyond a particular level, you develop a strain. We say that I'm very much stressed with the work. And okay, everybody is stressed with the work. If you are spending time, then stress, all right. I am also strained, means now it is harming you. It is hurting you psychophysically. So stress management is something that you don't allow the stress to go beyond that level when you are leading to a condition when you are strained. Otherwise, I'll tell you, stress is good. Take the stress, handle the stress well, because if you take the stress, you also get the benefit. If you work, it is stressful. Think about it. You are getting 1 lakh per month a salary for a work which is you are getting stressed. 8 hours, sometime 9 hours, 10 hours, sometime 14, 16 hours. Okay, you are stressed. Just compare your friend who graduated with you, doesn't have a job like you, and he is earning, say, 60,000 rupees per month, and you are earning 1 lakh per month. You are ready to take the stress because you are earning more than your friend. But the friend doesn't have a stress really because he is having a very cool job, not much of physical or psychological stress in it. So he is getting the reward as he is delivering. And you are getting the reward as you are delivering. But my point is, if you take the stress beyond a particular limit that it is hurting you, harming you psychophysically, then I would say there is something wrong. You have to manage your stress in such a manner. There are many stress releasing, motivating or motivational dialogues or speeches. They help you in what? They help you in comprehending the situations. You can always use that. You can always, I have seen many people that I see that they have the earphones plugged when they are traveling. Basically what he is doing, listening to a music? No, not necessary. Listening to a stress releasing motivational speakers deliberations. So you must manage your stress in such a manner that you are the best judge yourself. Like if you are continuously working, you have a headache. You have to understand that after how much continued work, your headache is likely to come or is coming. At least you have experienced this time. If you find that you are working with a team and the team is not performing well, it is a stress. And you have a delivery schedule and a time target, and the team is not working properly, it develops a stress. You are not certainly going to be succumbing to that. You have to now manage in such a manner that your stress level gets reduced and you make those people work so that your time target is met. So stress management is purely in your hand. And stress management, even if all those spiritual gurus or even motivational gurus are going to give you an idea about how to manage your stress, I'll tell you the biggest boss of stress management is yourself. You do it yourself. You are the best judge that when, up to what level of stress you can take, or where you are supposed to stop, or again, where you are supposed to take a break, or where you are supposed to change your tasks, or where you have to delegate your work so that your stress gets reduced or at least doesn't go beyond that particular limit. You are the boss of yourself in stress management. In fact, all those points which I have said over here in personal skills, literally each one of them, for each one of them having a good positive results, you are the boss yourself. It's only guidance people can give you. I can tell you how you may still do it. Somebody may also guide you that how to do it. But the thing is, unless you do it, you are not going to get the good results. It's just like mathematics or any other subjects. You are taught how to solve it. You are taught. But the thing is, you only become competent in solving when you solve yourself. Similarly, for personal skills, all those skills, in fact, not only personal, entire soft skills and hard skills as well, you have to do yourself. And since it is a very personal, means you are yourself. In other skills, social skills or people skill, you have somebody else beyond you. And how one is acting or manifesting, depending on that, your manifestation comes. I understand. There could be another role player. So if the role is played properly over there, you get a good result. If the role is not being played properly, you get a bad result. All right. But for personal skills, every item, you are the boss of yourself. If you do well, you get a result. If you don't do well, you face the results. Okay. Next, suave. It is a personality attribute. Very soft and sober. Suave is basically very soft and sober. You should be very sober. It is essential quality of any business person, any salesman. You may know that this person, you have met a person 5 times who have never got a deal, never got a sales closed. Still, 6th time you are meeting, you have to be suave. You have to be soft and sober. Because that person, he refused you 5 times, maybe because he doesn't need your product. But at the same time, you have to understand that you have wasted his time when you have visited him. These issues I will discuss when I'll talk about the sales and marketing. In the marketing strategies, there are some do's and don'ts which I'll tell very categorically. Agree or disagree is your point, but the thing is what we are researching and what we are seeing from the markets, from the working domain, from the business domain, I'll share with you, okay, because we are based on a very strong research on this. And there are many do's and don'ts we will say which are very generalized, but if necessary, we might tell you some specifics. And everywhere there may be some cases. Only thing is, I can tell you, if you are suave personality, you have at least the door, the moment you tapped and the person opened the door for you, he will invite you, say, please come in. So this is a personality trait, it's a personality attribute which is very vital. The other one, tackling fear, uncertainty and doubts. It is, see, if you take tackling word out of this, fear, uncertainty and doubts are all these are negatives. Fear is very negative. If you are trying to do something and if you are fearful, you will never be able to do it. Imagine you don't recall the first day when you started walking in your life. You were a child who was crawling. The first day you stood up, okay, you didn't understand that you stood from the crawling level because you were not emotionally that much matured, but your parents watched you. And if they found that you are fearful in walking, then they have to take special care. Hold your hand, make you walk, make you comfortable and confident in walking. And today you are a big runner in the world. It's possible. But if there had been fear, then you would have never walked, at least never run. Okay? Uncertainty is a part of our life and the part of the universe. Entire universe works on uncertainty. Who can guarantee that everything can be certain? Who can? When you yourself cannot guarantee that you can be certain about yourself, not possible. Whole universe, since it is based on uncertainty, so why at all have a fear of uncertainty or always be skeptic about uncertainty? If there is uncertainty, then definitely, since it's balanced, because the whole conservation of certainty, uncertainty is together. Something is certain, that's why something is uncertain, or something is uncertain, so other things are certain. The point is, what is important for you as a personal skill is how do you tackle it? Not everything is given, not everything is promised, not everything is givable. Okay? And the doubts, I always think that if you start doubting everything, then your life is not lived properly. Forget about doing business. You are doubting your product which you are selling. You are doubting your employer who is paying you salary. You are doubting your customer that he may not allow you to approach him, or he may not buy from you. Everything you are doubting. Don't doubt. If I say that be skeptic, but don't doubt, because doubting is one negative thing which kills you internally every time, mentally. It kills you, because you may not be right with all facts and figures. You may not know exactly the reason for which your employer is not giving you promotion. May not be aware. But if the company has a very standard protocol and the criteria, then you might find that yes, you did not qualify those criteria. That's why company is not promoting you. But if you start doubting my company will never promote me, then you will never get promoted. It's a killer. Fear and doubts. Let me be very critical about it. Fear and doubt, not uncertainty. Fear and doubt, they are internal killer. They are our internal enemy which we create ourselves within. Nobody creates amongst us. If that was true, then people fight, isn't it? When people fight, that somebody is attacking you, you are attacking back. If you are fearful, then you will not attack back. If you are not fearful, then you will at least take a chance to protest and attack back. That means your mind is not killing you, saying that okay, you are fearful, so you be afraid of him. So being afraid or being doubtful, these two are two negative things. I'll say that right from the day one, try to dump it in the dustbin. That does not mean that you should be overconfident and you should be afraid of, if you say that I am not afraid of jumping into the swimming pool, though I don't know the swimming. No, that's not the point. You are a wise person. You know that if you know swimming, then you can jump. But mind it, many of the swimming pool trainers, when they are training the swimmers for the first day, when the child or the person does not know swimming, pushes the child into the water. Pushes. Knowing fully well that since the child is not capable of swimming, he will drown. But he also knows that he will not drown. The reason is he has been pushed into the water and the trainer is just next to him to hold in case the person is drowning. Okay? What he is trying to kill is the fear in the mind that I might get drowned. If a child, now look at the psychology of a child. When the child is pushed into the water, the child feels I'm going to get drowned. And the moment he finds a hand below, the trainer's hand holds the child up, keeps him or her afloat, then the child feels, oh, I'm not drowning, so why fear this water? Then he starts, moving his legs and hands, and he starts enjoying the swimming. Very fast the person loves swimming. So the fear has been killed on the first shot. So if your fear you keep within, then it will kill yourself, and nobody can take the fear out of you. If it's only you who can take the fear and the doubt out of your own mind. Okay. Next is tackling gains. Okay, tackling gains and I think tackling losses. These two I have brought together. Okay, but still let me go back to gains first. Tackling gains and tackling losses, very interesting thing happens here. See, when you are going for sales, if you find that you have sold the idea or sold your product, then you become very excited over that gain. You know that you have made a profit. You know, honestly, you should have made 15% profit, but by virtue of your sales promotion and your skills, negotiation skills and like convincing skills, you are gaining about 30%. Okay, that means how much more? 15%. 15% profit is inbuilt in your product's price, and you have sold it at 30% profit. That means 50% is the gain. I hope you understand this gain. Profit is not the gain. Profit is inbuilt in the system which has to come back. Okay, but the gain is beyond the profit. Now the problem starts. I have seen salespersons once they sell something which is where he has sensed that, okay, I have a gain, he immediately, his whole activity starts becoming different. He becomes overexcited, and he also tries to push another project, another product, because he knows that he has gained the confidence of this client. So can he push in another one? More gain, more gain. This is very, very risky. How do you tackle your gains? My suggestion is, if you have really gained, nothing wrong in gaining. If there is a demand and the less of supply, naturally the prices will be higher, and in which there will be gain beyond the profit margins. Okay? In such cases, my suggestion is, don't show any extra emotional expressions. Don't show excitement, overexcitement. Don't jump around, don't talk around. Very quietly shake hands with your client, thank him many times for closing the deal, and enjoy the gain. Many people, I can tell you, many salesperson cannot tackle the gains. And I have seen such cases. Let me share one. Somebody who sold with a gain came out of the office. Nobody understood that the person who has bought he has bought at a higher price than actual market prices. This person who sold it with the gain, he cannot tackle the gains. He comes out, and then he meets a friend, and then he starts, very loudly starts sharing the fact that how did he make a good business and good gain. Immediately, at that point of time, a person of the same office was passing by who was not noticed. He overheard it, and he understood that his company has been sold something beyond the market rates. I can tell you, just because this person could not tackle the gain, and he had been expressing it immediately after, and the company who has lost it because he has bought at a price which is higher than the profit margin, will make this company blacklisted forever, unless it's a proprietary item, forever, thinking this person next time will come and also will try for the extra gain. So what would have been better? That person would have been quietly leaving the office, don't even interact with anybody, and ultimately come back to his office and then share the facts with his friends as if it's just a business deal. But jumping around, being overexcited, expressing the excitement of the deal or such things becomes negative. Contrary is also true. Tackling losses, the company, even I have heard terms like, I'll be kicked at the back because I have lost, because I've given you a bigger discount. Sometimes even the company calls and says that, why did you give the discount without our approval? Sometimes the person calls back to the office and says that, can I give this additional discount? All these, so there's loss. If you lose, you must also tackle very, very gracefully. You should feel that this person who you have promised a price which is to you a loss, yet gracefully you must face it, and the person should feel very comfortable that you have lost. Other person should feel comfortable that you have lost, because more you lose, more he gains, and more he gains, more he looks towards you for further business. So in the business, tackling losses is also equally important. I remember one such case. One of the CMD called one of the senior planner. The planner has quoted for a price for a master plan for one of the state, and the price was, say, something like 40 lakhs. All these figures are again arbitrary, 40 lakhs, but actual cost of in fact the company would have made profit if it was about 60 lakhs. But 40 lakhs, because they had to cut the prices, it was a tough competition. So by cutting the prices, they came to a 40 lakhs for which they got the job. And while executing the work, the person who is responsible for the project, he found that 40 lakhs is almost coming to almost no profit. Everything is going in cost, because the project is, it was supposed to be 1 year, the project got lingered for 3 years. So naturally, manpower investments, human resource investments, other costs of travel, everything kept on coming in as additional. So this person found, when he was trying to cross check, that we quoted 40 lakhs for this particular project 1 year. He thought that in 1 year 40 lakhs is going to be an additional turnover of the company. But now he realized after 2 years that 40 lakhs is the 40 lakhs. It is not going to increase because the client is not ready to add any further figure into it. Then he talks to the chairman. He tells the chairman the fact, says this is what it is. What do you suggest? Shall I go back to the client and request for additional funding and all that? What chairman said? Chairman very quietly listened to the whole story. Then he said, dear friend, we are a friend of our customer. It is only their difficulty for which the project has been lingered to 2 years. It is not their fault. They never even anticipated that this will be lingered for another 1 year. Okay? The 40 lakhs that they have approved is for 1 year. They know that it is now lingering for another extra 1 year. But my suggestion is that we should absorb the loss. We should absorb the loss. We should try to cut down on our internal manpower and reduce our number of travels required so that we don't make further losses. But you face this loss. Never take this as a negative for the company. Next time when you quote for any other company, any other project, at that time you take this fact as your learning and add your some contingencies so that in case the project gets extended by 1 year, then you should be able to meet that cost and fight for it. But for this project, dear, sorry, don't do it. 40 lakhs, it's a 40 lakhs. 2 years, tell them that it's lingered by 1 year. They are very conscientious people. Customer is a friend. Customer should not become an enemy here in this. This is what I say is tackling losses. How you tackle the losses. Okay, 20 lakhs loss. It is a story of about 10 years back. At that time, 20 lakhs made a lot of difference. My point is it's not a matter of how much. It's a ideology that how you tackle your loss. If suppose the chairman wanted, chairman could have fired this person for his miscalculation or wrong assessment. But I would say the chairman is a chairman because of his mental acumen, the excellent intellectual acumen. That's why he's the chairman. And he gave a suggestion to his junior in such a manner the junior learned. I heard the story from the junior's face. The planner, he said, this is what I learned. I said, not only you have learned by burning your finger, I have learned from listening to you. This is what I'm saying. How do you tackle your losses? You must know. Tackling questions is another. Questions sometimes are shot at you which are very caustic. In business, quite often. I'm sure if you are in the business, see, I don't know who are you who is listening to my lectures. If it is a student, then you learn it. But if you are already a business person, you are a salesperson, you are the leader of a company, then I hope you will understand what I'm trying to say. Tackling questions when you go for sales, when you go for business, when you go for business meeting, when you go for negotiations, when you go going for marketing, at many points you might be asked a question which is unpalatable. It's not slang, it's a business-wise unpalatable. One of the most unpalatable questions, let me tell you, that I have come to know about. The boss of the company is asking, dear friend, can you tell me that why should I give you this project? Why should I give you the project? A very unpalatable question, and I'm sure you are not ready with the answer. You know what happens? I have seen such cases. Sometimes even I have used this just to test the steadiness of the company, the mental steadiness of the company. I have sometimes used this question. Tell me, justify, why should I give you the project? Why shouldn't I give this project to somebody else? Or why should I buy your product? Why shouldn't I buy the product of others? Okay? How do you tackle that question? That question, by now I can tell you, if you can always frame such kind of questions which are unpalatable on the ground, on the field. Maybe. But the thing is, you prepare the questions yourself and also get ready with the answers. Tackling such questions at some time is very, very sensitive, and you are not ready. And if you are not ready for that, then you fumble. Not only you fumble, you make a mess of it. And you start answering in such a manner, very irrelevant facts you keep on sharing. No, we are a big company, we have served this company, we have done that, we are good in service and we will give you better service and all that. That company is a bad one, they have made bad business. All this rubbish will keep on coming in your mouth. So tackling good question means you frame many such good questions, which good for them, but Prepare such questions and also be ready with the answers. These kind of things are done for IAS training and all, where many such things, many questions are asked which apparently sounds to be very, very irrelevant. But the thing is, how you address those questions, how you answer to those questions spontaneously, on the spot, unexpected, that is your test. Okay? So tackling questions is a skill which will help you. Technical literacy is whatever you are dealing with, your full technical knowledge. I'll give an example here. Quite often I found that if suppose somebody is trying to sell a product to me, when I was in charge of departments and all that, I found that two persons came to me. Two persons came to me and trying to sell the product. And invariably, the person who was speaking the most, I found that he is technically the most weak. Then I ask, what's your background? He says, are you a technical person? Are you technically competent to answer all my questions? Then he says, no, I am not. I am a salesperson. This gentleman, my friend, he is going to give you all technical answers. Then my immediate question is, then why you are talking? Why not your friend starts a discussion with me and explain the whole gamut of what technical competence this particular or technical excellence this product has? Why you are talking? You will only talk when we'll talk about deals. You'll only talk when we'll talk about prices. But I first want to know the technical items. But I'll tell you, they become miserable. In many situations, what happens is one single person comes. And naturally, he's trained salesperson. So he knows how to push my door open, how to tap and push my door open, how to take my time out of my busy schedule. He knows. He knows how to greet me. He knows how to sit in front of me or make me address him or request him to sit down and start talking. He knows, and it's a good skill. I'll tell you, it's a very, very good skill. When I'll talk about the sales, you will understand there are many such tips and tricks. Okay, the point is, after about 10 minutes of discussion, then I ask, okay, now you give me some technical idea about it. Then he opens up and says, no, so I am not a technical person, so I'll send my technical person, you give me another appointment, another wastage of time. I said, if you are not the technical person trying to sell a technical project to me or technical product to me, why did you come? You should have sent your technical person, and or else you should have accompanied your technical person to give me an idea. So technical literacy, yourself as a business person must be strong. Nobody should undermine you because of your lack of technical literacy. Time management, I will detail it out in my last set of lectures. There are lots of things in it. How do you manage your time? People say that we have 24 hours. I have also heard people saying, I wish I had 36 hours. I really smiled at internally I thought, if you are given 36 hours, then you will be asking for more. You will be asking for 48 hours. Because God has given us 24 hours. Each one of us, every individual is given 24 hours. And if you cannot do your things in 24 hours, you won't be able to do in 36 hours as well. But this is one. Another thing is that if it is done in 24 hours, can you do it in lesser than that hour? That is your management. God has given you 24 hours not for everything, not for your business. God has given 24 hours compartmentalized for your many activities. And since you have multiple responsibilities, how you handle it. So time management becomes intrinsic quality, and time management can be taught. It can be taught. It's a soft skill, no doubt about it. Why they are called soft skill? They are variable. Nobody, giving you time management ideas will give you a certificate that you have learned time management. One can always teach you how to manage your time, but does not necessarily mean that you have to be given a certificate which you have to show to others to prove that you know how to manage your time. No, that's why it's a soft skill. Then comes tolerance of change and uncertainty. Uncertainty, you don't be fear, I said, and you should be tolerant to change and uncertainty, because uncertainty is a part of the universe. So anytime anything you thought, it may change. So you be tolerant to it. Don't become suddenly jittery. Don't succumb to it. Don't be fearful of it. Don't even become negative in terms of your activity. So your tolerance to change or of change and uncertainty is important. Trustworthiness is your intrinsic skill. Intrinsic skill means you should be trustworthy. Anybody is giving you any responsibility, whether it's your company or your sales, executive, or maybe you are selling something to a product to somebody, but you should be trustworthy yourself. If you become trustworthy for a project or a product, but internally intrinsically you are not trustworthy, that makes no sense. That is going to be counterproductive, because people can make out whether you are trustworthy. And for God's sake, you never be untrustworthy. Because if you build up the trust over years and then once you falter in it, then the rest of the time you are not trusted. And if you are not trusted, you lose your project, you lose your clients, you lose your prospects, you lose, first of all, the respect of the opposite person. And trustworthy to whom? Trust is something which really cannot be taught. A trust, something like, I'll give an example. You walk on the road, you find that there's a purse lying on the floor. Has anybody ever taught you that if you find somebody else's something lying on the floor, you don't pick it up? Generally, you are not supposed to, because we are in that system that I'm not supposed to pick it up. Let the purse be lying there. The person who lost it, after about say half an hour, he'll come back and he'll find that it is still lying on the same spot where it was dropped. Okay, this is your trustworthiness. Nobody teaches this. But somebody who picks it up and ultimately puts it in his pocket, then he is not trustworthy in future ever, or intrinsically he is not trustworthy. But there is another person in between who picks it up, doesn't leave it there, because he knows there will be another untrustworthy person who will come and pick it up and put it in his pouch. He picks it up, he goes to a police station and he says, I have got this purse lying on the floor belonging to somebody else. I am giving it to you because you are a government authority who is now going to publicize, and ultimately somebody will be coming to you looking for this. This is equally trustworthiness. So trustworthiness must be there. If you ever lose trust of others, you lost everything, whether it's your family, your children, your friend, your teachers, your students, your colleagues, your business counterparts, your clients. Trustworthiness is your own. These are very strong strengths. Value base basically comes along with the trustworthiness. Value base is the sense of value generally we are given, by your family training, or even by our other gurus or teachers and others, or maybe sometime from our friends we get the value system. But most often when we are suggested some good value system from our friends, we try to reject it, because a friend, same age, same group, what does he understand this? But what our parents tell us, what our grandparents told us, do this, don't do this. These are values we are injected with when you are growing. And the value system, trustworthiness, all these things are honed right from your childhood days, and it never dies. You may change temporarily for some gain or because of some losses, but the thing is, if it is there very strong within it, I can assure you that your business is always going to rise, always. Okay. Vocabulary is how you speak. Since I'll be dealing with this, conversations and other things more in detail, so vocabulary is words, right words uttered in the right time. Okay. When I'll talk about the conversations, the art of conversation, how to converse in our verbal and non-verbal, the third or fourth week I'll be discussing about it. Which word is the right word that you are using, and for which you have to train yourself. For good vocabulary, very generic suggestion let me give you now, later on I'll detail it out. Don't use jargons. Use very simple words which anybody can understand. Don't use jargons. Don't use acronyms, which makes other person hearing that uncomfortable. Okay? And I have seen many people are, they train themselves to speak on jargons and acronyms. I can tell you that they may be thinking very smart of themselves, but actually internally they are losing the person who is not getting communicated to this, because it's all matter of communication. If you tell me an acronym and I don't know what that acronym expansion is, then that means you have not communicated exactly what you wanted to say. So the vocabulary is the word, the right word, in the right place, in the right time. Okay, for which you take a good book of proverbs, idioms, dictionaries, and try to make yourself rich on that. Warmth is again expression, and as I said that it is psychophysical, Warmth is reflected through the whole body system, but it's a psychological play. The warmth is like shaking hands. It expresses warmth. But I don't know how many people you have shook hands with. Interestingly, when you shake hands, you will find there are different kinds of strengths of the opponent's hand, different kind of strength. Somebody's hand, I have seen myself. Don't don't laugh at it. Somebody who is shaking hands with me, I found that his hand melted within me. Melted means it becomes so soft. I didn't expect it. The warmth was not there. As if he didn't want to, but he had to shake his hands. Warmth is reflected through body gestures, through contacts, even through eye contacts. The warmth is expressed, when you are looking at somebody and your eyes get dilated. Wait for it in my non-verbal communication discussion on these issues in detail. But the warmth is something which is going to make you feel, or you make others feel close to you. Okay? Hugging, shake hands, putting the hands on the shoulder, patting at the back, okay? Even touching your top of the palm. All these are expression of warmth. These are very, very important. Not necessarily you're going to touch your clients like that. But the thing is, quite often, sometimes it happens is when you're meeting your colleagues and others, this expression of warmth. I have seen in many occasions my clients, they are more inclined to shake hands with me. They want. We could have finished it. Okay, finished our discussion and then split. No, he wants to shake his hands. And I have also seen hands which are very strong and holds my palm in such a manner, shaking hands. I feel that he wants to hold me and keep me held. Okay, so this shake hands things again also has some do's and don'ts. I'll come to that. Work ethics is the rightfulness during the work. Okay, ethics, there will be another detailed lecture. Ethics is basically rightfulness. What is right, what is should not be done, what is should be done, and this ethics is psychological ethics, physical ethics, emotional ethics, psychological, emotional, social ethics, business ethics. There are lots of ethical items. Okay, wait for it. Because I am introducing to all these, many of these I will go into details in my following lectures. Work-life balance is something like, say I said 24 hours is your time and you have to do lots of activities. Run your family, take care of your children, take care of the health of your aged parents, you have to do business, you have to work for somebody, you have to go for recreation, you have to have a work-life balance. And frankly speaking, that most of the people are not very competent or efficient in work-life balancing. You know why? What happens is, when you are young, we think that when you are young, means in the working age group, then that's the only time when you can earn money by working hard, because our physique and mind helps. When you grow older, then naturally your physique is, or your physical condition, deteriorates or degenerates. So it does not give you that much of strength to work. When you are a child, you are not mentally or emotionally matured so much that you can work. But the thing is, if you want to work and you have a life, say you get a job, then you get married. Once you get a job and you get married, now both are equally demanding. The job wants you to perform well and the family wants you to be with them. Both are valid. Now, if I say work is work and the family is the life, how do you balance it? Your family is expanding, your work responsibility is also expanding till the time you retire. Okay, that means both are expanding. When the family is expanding, now you have children. Now they will go to the school, they will go to the colleges, they will get a job before you retire. And by the time you have also got promoted, so you have more responsibilities. Does that mean that now you are going to split in such a manner that you will give all time here or all time here? Not done. This work-life balance is purely your forte. How do you do it? And there I can tell you, majority of the working people, they are considered to be very efficiently working people. They are considered to be workaholics. People use this term sometimes very negatively on somebody, but I will tell you, apparently a person who is very workaholic, not necessarily he doesn't have a good sense of work-life balance or good execution of work-life balance. He does it. He does it in such a manner, when he is working, he is working. And when he is with the family, he is with the family. Okay. Now the person who is watching you during your work time and you are working seriously and he doesn't, he will call you workaholic. Because by calling you workaholic, he thinks that he is not workaholic. But at the same time, he is also not as efficient or as successful as you are. So don't consider workaholic terminology as negative. But I'll tell you, if somebody calls you workaholic, you should be very sure and clear that they are jealous about you. Okay? You are doing your job rightly, in right time, and getting good results and good responses from your clients and your bosses, and you are getting promoted. The others who are pointing fingers at you saying you are a workaholic must then measure, and you will find they are losers. They are losers in many cases, whether at work or at family. Okay? You can be a very strong workaholic and also a very good family man. Okay. Then work-life integration, this is important, means how you integrate the work and the life. Work-life balancing is like where you give more time, more stress, or more importance. This is what is balancing. Okay. Now work-life integration is basically how do you integrate these two. This integrating these two is important. Okay. Now then comes work scheduling. You have to schedule your work properly. If you do proper scheduling of the works, then what happens is your whole work gets done, whatever work you want to do. So work scheduling, proper work scheduling for integrating work and life and then balancing them together, it comes almost as a bundle. So when it comes as a bundle, you will find that now you are integrating everything of the work and the life. Okay, you have scheduled it properly, how you are going to undertake all these activities, and then you will find that now you are balancing it, just making a little plus minus on each one of them so that everything is done. End of the day, end of your life, you will find that when you sit quietly, watch what have you achieved, what have you done, how did you do it. There may be some bit of pitfalls on some bit of extremes in some cases, but you will find that your work and the life went very, very, very in continuity, and you are a successful person. If you become almost like a sort of researcher or a worker who doesn't even listen to the calls of the family and keeps on working, ultimately result is good or bad, whatever, but the family is lost. At the same time, you are sitting with your family more and ignoring your work is lost. So the point, this is what you have to understand, is that okay, this much I am finishing here, the personal skills point. Alphabetically, if you see that it has ended with W. Okay. Personal skill is up to this, but I can assure you, next I will go to the other type of skills in my next set of modules. But what I would like to point out over here is that when you start creating yourself, make yourself stronger in the personal skills, then your other skills gets nurtured and cultured. Other skills which I will be talking in the next modules. First is you. You are as a person. Then is the rest. If I am talking about, say, your interactive skill or innovative skill, suppose innovative skill is through you, people skill, you and others. So first my suggestion is take care of yourself, make yourself ready. Don't overdo. I will tell you all this I have said, it is very easy to implement, very easy. Only thing is you have to understand it. So when I will give you that checklist you will fill it up, and there will be some 2-3 checklists just for your own benefit. Once you fill up those checklists and send it to me, I will try to assess you, give my feedback on that. Okay? Even if I don't give the feedback, you can judge yourself where you stand. No harm, nothing is late, you are not late. If you have found that there are in some of these attributes you are weak, doesn't matter, no time is late. Better late than never, better late than never. So if it is better late than never, so that means nothing is late. Okay? So if you have any such doubts or points, I am giving over here my email ID, my IIT email ID, and also my personal phone number. Please note it down. Don't hesitate to contact me directly on this, no problem. You can write in the forum, you can straightway mail it to me. I will be very happy to respond to it. But I want you to grow and become a perfect persons, strong in all kind of soft skill. That's my target. Thank you very much for giving your valuable time.